Hi, welcome to the Tiny Ladles tournament recap for Faldorn. Today we had Faldorn versus Laelia, and a red deck wins, kind of a mono red deck. Um, so for this hand, I drew Arid Mace, Dented the Bugbear, Robber of the Ridge, Birds of Paradise, Walking Ballista, Lightning Bolt, Cemetery Prowler. My main goal here in this first match was to use Arid Mesa to get a green source on the Birds of Mesa, or Birds of Paradise. Next turn, either cast Cemetery Prowler or Robber of the Ridge. But, as you'll see, my opponent draws, Blood Moon, Chain Lightning, Eidolon, Sulfuric Vortex, Pyrostatic Pillar, all anti-combo pieces, but mulligans. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. There we go. There's mulligan. This hand has Goblin Guide, Eidolon, Monastery. A lot of the one drops that Mono Red loves. Which is an issue because Goblin Guide, as you will see, as they play first, the Goblin Guide hits me. I immediately find a Scalding Tarn, which totally turns off my Robber of the Ridge plan. I get the birds out. Monastery and Ragavan come out. There's not much I can do. I just take the damage. I find the Darcy. I play the Darcy. And then Laelia comes out, and this just wide board is scary. But I lightning bolt the Laelia. Ragavan was held back. I get faceless looting showing up for Goblin Guide. I faceless looting. I then hold back, but I accidentally forgot that Darcy's Delirium would force me to attack, so I kind of lost a blocker there, which hurt, which I should have really done Faithless Looting after the attack phase, so I didn't have to do that and leave up blockers, which is the main reason I lost this first round, probably, is because of the lack of blockers. Ragavan gets blocked by Cemetery Prowler. Cemetery Gatekeeper's just there for creatures specifically, which hurts a lot. Next turn, because the Cemetery Prowler makes everything cheaper, I cast Faldorn, paying 2 life. I attack Cemetery Prowler because it has Vigilance, so I could leave it up for blockers. So right now I'm looking pretty good because I'm just at 1 life, and it's feeling pretty good. But I get hit with the Chain Lightning, so now I'm at 1 life. I fling it back at one of the critters, which is the Ragavan, I'm pretty sure, or Cemetery Gatekeeper. I play Devilish Valet, which means I'm about to pop off with a bunch of wolves. And I have Squee in hand, but I was going to die from Pyrostatic Pillar, so I killed myself using the Phyrexian cost of, what was that card again? Hold on. Yeah, the Sulfuric Vortex would have dealt 2 damage to me on my upkeep, so I used Noctis Revival instant speed to kill myself. Like a gamer. The next match, I won this match. I mulliganed into a heavily red hand, which I felt very confident about. Turn 1 into Darcy. Very good play. Responds with Goblin Guide. Nothing serious. I attack with both that and the Robber of the Ridge to exile the top card. The top card being Rampaging Ferocodon, which is a sneaky sideboard counter to my Infinite Wolves. Bullmat Courier comes in, Goblin Guide. I get a Taiga, then I play Laelia. I attack with everything. My opponent next turn is like, okay, Anger of the Gods, wheels it down. Forgot to attack before casting Anger of the Gods. I play Faldorn after. My opponent plays Laelia, then Valakut tapped. Then I play Jessica's Will. I get 3 red mana. I start casting stuff. I leave Squee in my exile because I can cast it whenever from exile, and I just create a whole huge board state. Then I play Royal Eruption from my hand, hitting the Laelia. Then my opponent is in a position where they're going to die, so they try and Valakut. However, they realize that, well, they're trying to build for Valakut, but Cemetery Gatekeeper is targeting lands right now, so they take 2 every time they play a land. Then I just get everything in. I prepare for a 5/5 body and a 2/2 wolf off a Lovestruck Beast with Faldorn on, so I just get that 1 token. They try to Valakut, but then I remind them that it's 5 other mountains. Valakut's not a mountain, so then they just Lava Spike and bounce back the mountain to their hand. I get a gamble, which sucks. I play Faithless Looting from Graveyard using Flashback. I do all that. But then I get Lightning Bolt, and then I win the game off of Lightning Bolt to face. The next match was really, really good on my opponent's part, and was actually really nasty, and I pretty much immediately lost the game on turn 1. So let's review. So my opponent has Mountain, Lotus Petal, Bloodthirsty Adversary, Pyrostatic Pillar, and then 3 lands. Gaia's Blessing, Green Slime Mountain, all this stuff. Pretty much a 5-lander I couldn't keep, so I mulliganed down to 6. I decided that this hand was okay enough to keep because I could use Prismatic Vista to get a mountain. Jessica's Will off of Faldorn could be pretty good, and I could probably draw something since I'm on the draw now. So my opponent opens up with Mountain, Lotus Petal, into Bloodthirsty Adversary, which is a haster with 2 damage to face immediately, which hurt. I get a Mountain. Pyrostatic Pillar immediately comes down, so now I'll take 2 for casting literally anything, but so will my opponent. But as you'll see, that affects me a lot more than anything. I cast Royal Eruption. I should have saved it for Laelia there. I take 2. Laelia comes down. I play the Forest. I get Faldorn down. Laelia comes and buffs. I take the 4, which I probably shouldn't have, but I was going to die anyways because Lightning Bolt comes down. So next time I cast any spell, well, they're trying to get Lightning Bolt off the Bloodbraid Marauder, but anytime they would, I would cast anything, I was gonna die. So I was just, I played Stomping Ground untapped to kill myself again. So then I just did a little joke where I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep playing as a joke. I did not do well this game, which is sad because Faldorn was having a bit of a winning streak in terms of games. So Faldorn finally fell. Kind of sad, but it's Swiss bracket, so I'm not like immediately out of the tournament, and it was fun. I think more that I play this deck, I just realized that I'm not that smart against playing against aggro for some reason. Like, as soon as my opponent starts getting in a bunch of creatures, I'm like, okay, I don't want to block. And then also, this deck can be aggressive with the right hand. I just should have mulliganed again, most likely. Like a 2 mana card and a 3 mana card and no 1 drop against aggro wasn't the best. But oh well, probably a mistake on my part. Anyways, next I'm going to talk about my plans for the next tournament actually, which is pretty interesting because it's a new deck I've been building for Tiny Leaders using a Esper Commander, Sidri, the Artificer. Here's a match that I've won with. This is a control matchup, so I'm just gonna speed up. So it's a Thopter Sword, Ashnod's Altar, Time Sieve combo, a 4-card combo, which is really hard to get off. But in Tiny, it's usually pretty easy to get combos going because the format's card pile is actually pretty small. This is just me hand attacking because, you know, it's a control. I play Thopter Foundry, trying to get some Thopter Sword action. This is a control matchup, so it's going to be very long. But as you can see, eventually, once I get Ashnod's Altar, I'm going to try and find Sword of the Meek. There we go. This is a part of the Thopter Sword Foundry, so now I can make infinite Thopters. But I lose Emery this turn, so I don't get the time sieve out of my graveyard where it is right now, which felt bad. I could have been able to take infinite turns, but instead, I create 404 Thopters, getting myself up to 420 life, which is very funny. Sidri's here. Sidri is good because it can animate artifacts in a pinch, but also with liquid metal coating, you can target any lands and then use Sidri's blue cost ability for land destruction, which is really funny. So, this is my deck for the next tournament. I'm still working on it. It's basically a Thopter tribal. As you can see, this is the deck that made me inspired to make my other video about Thopters, actually. So if you want to go see that video on Thopters and the history of Thopters at Magic and Aviation, it will be there. But anyways, it was fun taking part of this tournament, but I don't think I'll be taking the crown, especially with Chiasi's Oswald Fiddlebender deck. But it's still a really good deck, and surprisingly, a lot of people are considering Food Chain for their decks now in Tiny Leaders, which is not something I expected to happen because Food Chain comes from a ridiculously underpowered set because it came after a really powerful one. So I'm just really surprised that A, this card is getting traction, B, people are really caring about it, and C, people are trying to take my crown for the Food Chain Queen, you know? Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.